Alright, boys. It's time for another story time video. The story starts, right? Vance and I were going to his house for the weekend, and he came out of the closet. I mean the bathroom, sorry. And it was a nice warm summer week. The birds were humming, the dogs were barking, the worms were fucking. Leave it to two 15-year-old kids that are questionably butt buddies to decide what better of a way to spend summer than to bring our Xbox 360 and sit inside all day. It was the start of, our summer going into sophomore year, and Vance decided it would be a good idea to dye his hair blonde, as demonstrated by this image here. We're going to his mom's house to stay the weekend, and we brought his Xbox 360, and we brought my Xbox 360 games. And unfortunately for Vance and me, it was unknown how this weekend would go. So we set up the console when it got closer to night, and we played Modern Warfare 3, and we got bored of doing Spec Ops and stuff. So then we switched to Halo 3 or 4 or whatever other games that I had at the time. And I think it was just because we had played those games so much, or at least I had, and I got really bored. So we ended up switching, and since my account was locked due to some past stuff, I wasn't able to get logged in, so I couldn't download my digital games. So what did we have to do? Well, within walking distance, we had access to the one and only GameStop. Okay, the place that had high stocks one time. That's pretty much what they're known for nowadays. So we go there, and we had like a 5, 10, or a 20, whatever. Like we thought we were hot shit going to GameStop with a $10 bill. So we go in there like the rich kid at the book fair, and everyone would follow him to see what he was gonna buy, and he ends up getting like a $2 eraser, and that's it. But we're going through the back, and we found the bargain bin basket, which is ideally what we wanted. And we were digging through there trying to find some cheaper games in hopes of finding this like secret, mystical, insane co-op game, which unfortunately at the time I don't think Diablo 3 was on console, or if it was, they probably didn't have any markdown copies. So we're going through there, and we're digging through, and we're looking through this bin with a mystical hope that we will find the game of our dreams. And then boom, we didn't find anything. The game we didn't really want it, we didn't really need it, but it was the only option, and it was Madden 13. I mean, like, come on, guys, wow, it is one of the best, most memorable games. Like, it had the football in there, and all those people from 2012. Like, it was a good game. So we ran home and popped the game into the console. Back when you didn't have to download a game for 8 hours. And the good old Xbox 360 dashboard, the disc tray icon changed, and we booted it up, and we were greeted with that good old slogan. E, 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 E. It was an old game. It was probably buggy, but it was all we had. So we go into like the 1v1 mode, and we decided to do this challenge that I think we had watched like another YouTuber do at the time. And it was basically where you hit the randomized team button twice, and out of the two teams that you got, you could pick one or the other. And if you didn't like those two choices, you could do a one-off random where whatever team you got with that third randomize was the team you had to take. And you didn't want to have to use that as long as you didn't have to. Like, sometimes you just bite the bullet and take like a medium team or whatever. And at first it was okay, but it was built to fail. Okay, Vance was. If you've played games with Vance, every game will just shit on him. Oh shit!
What? What? What was that?
It doesn't matter what he's doing. So it started out with the classic old fun of two dudes sitting on that really nice black leather couch, and the cameraman turns on. I mean, so it was as if the devil himself manifested in our copy of Madden 13 and was against Vance. Vance was straight up fighting the devil incarnate, and I don't remember the first two games super well, but I do remember that the first game the team gave me, like, the Patriots, and I think they were like an overall 92, like they were like the best team, or I got one of the really good teams in the game, or something crazy like that. So then he rolls and he gets like something in the high 60s. I mean, it was horrible. Like, he got like one of the worst teams, probably like the Buccaneers or the Browns, or I don't think it was the Browns. So we played the game, and, you know, Vance blamed the game, as he always does. Like, if you've watched Vance's streams, you know he blames the game. So he had gotten smoked the first 2 games and was already heated, along with the fact that it was getting really late, and for some reason, whenever you would stay with your friends, or they would stay over, and you hit this point, usually around like 12 p.m., where you just like turn on each other, and you just love to like screw with each other and piss each other off, at least in my case. That's probably more on my side too, so that's just me, I'm kind of fucked up. So, you know, he was practically my Voldemort, and it was my goal to just shit on his parade. So we got ready for another match, and Vance got the Patriots, and I go to roll my teams, right? Randomized. This is what happened, okay? It was shit, and then more shit. It was horrible. I rolled 3 times, got the, like, 62 overall Browns. Like, I remember I got the Browns. I'm pretty sure they're the lowest overall in the game. So, we both thought we knew how the game would go. Like, we thought he had every advantage, and that's when the game came up, and quote-unquote clapped his shit down. Alright, so it got to the final moments. The game had started, and it immediately went off on a bad start for Vance, as I believe he threw an interception, like, right away.
I can't fucking move if there's 2 people just right in my asshole the entire fucking time.
Or something happened. And the game carries on as Vance just can't do anything. The game literally made his team drop the ball as they had it in their hands.
I was so close!
And, like, the guy just dropped the ball, and then it was, like, a fumble or something. Like, it was horrible. The game revolted against Vance, as we knew, as we expected, as we expect now, looking in past tense, right? But as the game drew closer to an end, and there was just... Vance was not going to win, okay? I was, like, 3 touchdowns ahead of him. I'm pretty sure I got a safety on him or something. Like, just imagine the worst game of football you've ever seen. So he yells, quietly.
How does that... How does that make sense?
You know, since we're in an apartment and his mom's sleeping in the next room. So it's that quiet rage, you know, and he goes over stomping to the Xbox, spams hitting the eject button, and rips the game out of his Xbox. Which, he ripped it out so fast, it made that, like, sputtering sound, because it was still spinning in the Xbox. And that was great. So he grabs the disc out, raises the disc up to the high heavens. I fucked the game's mom. Okay, he didn't actually say that, but he did Undertaker that shit into his knee, and it snapped his knee in half. That's the alternate ending. We'll never get that in the video, sorry. He just basically broke the game into multiple shards, and it was glorious. So as we sit there realizing what had become of the once famed Madden 13, I looked up at his face, and nothing was visible except for the bright red tomato face. Okay, just straight rage. He was upset because he wasted all of his money on a game he had now broken. He lost 3 games in a row with all of the advantages possible. Was immensely just enraged. It was bad. And then, you know, we were still pissed at each other because we were trying to beat each other. And it was really the best way to end the night. Thinking back on it, I think that's how we ended most of the time we spent outside of school together, but, you know, oh well, XD, that's what the cool kids say now. So, but all I ask from you is that we give one final prayer to the king himself. Madden 13, you will be missed.
I'm trying to call. I've been on my own for long enough. Maybe you can show me how to learn.